Today, Sunday, September 5th, 2021. This is the Harry Thomas Show. The website is located at harrythomas.info and harrythomasshow.com. I'm your host, Harry Thomas. Well, I told you guys that I would be updating you on when there was new shows available, uncensored, over at bitshoot.com. The Real Harry Thomas Show. And there's one on its way today. It's being processed right now that I did today. So it's on alternative treatments. And that's about all I'm going to say. There's some very much fraud going on in the mainstream media. And if you've never heard this show, again, we are fighting the New World Order. We are against one world government, and we are for preserving United States sovereignty and individual sovereignty. And we've been doing that since 2005. I was on a long hiatus, but I see that the elitists, the ruling class, have initiated their endgame. I noticed that over the past 18 months. So I decided to get back involved, and I think everybody should really start questioning their reality and get back involved. That's not exactly what I want to talk to you about, but I do want you to go check out that uncensored show. It's about half an hour long that I put out today, and you'll be able to find that at harrythomas.info and harrythomasshow.com. And over at bitshoot.com, The Real Harry Thomas Show. All one word, The Real Harry Thomas Show. If you do a search, you'll find it. All right. I wanted to talk about Alex Jones and over there at Infowars.com. And there's been a smear campaign against him for years. He's been banned off all these platforms, social media platforms, mostly owned by Google. You got to have your Google goggles on these platforms these days because they will censor you, and they're watching. And if you're not going along with the status quo, then you're putting out misinformation. But the status quo and the mainstream media, they're the ones putting out the misinformation. So it's like a doublespeak 1984 George Orwell world. And the answer to 1984 is 1776. So the elitists better be careful when they're pushing the last country in the world that our forefathers enabled us with certain inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Remember them? Remember them? Well, we pledge our allegiance to the republic. We need to restore that republic. But I wanted to talk about Alex Jones. See, Alex Jones, is covering a lot of the same material, and I covered his material on the show and stuff. And a lot of people are very critical of him. And it's like, if you were immense, and they're like, they've shut down. They're like, any information coming out of InfoWars or anything is got to be bunk, because that's what the mainstream media is told, me. I'm going to pretend like I'm just somebody. So, well, the mainstream media said that he's a conspiracy theorist and, and this and that. And, he hangs around with like Charlie Sheen and he's just, if what he was saying was true, they would have killed him by now and all that. So he's a gatekeeper for the Zionists, and, he's just smoozing with Hollywood, and, he's not really exposing the true villains behind the curtains or anything, and they're just allowing him to put out some information because it's just public knowledge anyway. Well, even if that's true, the bottom line is, in these times and ages, I've been finding a lot of factual information over there. So it's like whatever you think of Alex Jones's personality, or and let me tell you this. You might have tuned in, you're like, oh, this guy, I don't like his personality. I didn't like Donald Trump's personality. In fact, I thought he was I don't know, a bloated blowhard that was full of ego. But and you might think the same of Jones. Now, I noticed something about Jones over the years is he's gotten very animated. He's gotten very hyper, very angry. But I look at it like this: like I went on a long hiatus from all these information. I went into a different esoteric direction. I went into I don't know, just a more one-on-one wakening people up, more kind of meditational, vibrational, different take on things, but still letting people know about the world order, new world order, and police state, and financial collapse, and the fact of a one world government, secret societies, and all that stuff. That is factual information, and tying it into a bigger picture of an awakening, basically. So I got away from the news aspect of it. Um, but I could see where you immerse yourself in that stuff. You go crazy. And I could see why Jones is so hyper. And I'd probably be the same way because I just noticed myself the other day doing a show, and man, I was getting fired up, and I vowed not to. I got my high blood pressure under control, and I don't need the extra stress. I got heart conditions, you know, but I'm getting pretty heated about what's going on, and just watching our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and my fellow Americans, the total disregard of it, and this communist agenda that's being put in. And I'm thinking of my grandfather and his Purple Heart, and he suffered the rest of his life with an injury from the invasion of Normandy. And I'm thinking about my mom and all the people in the senior home that she lives in, and how they were raised by the World War II vets that fought for the freedom in this country, and how they're turning in their graves. And I listened to the senior citizens over there, 70, 80, 90 years old. Some of them were alive. Some of them were from that generation, rolling in their graves. And they're just sitting there saying, this is all overblown. They should just leave us alone. And the younger generation walking around with this entitlement and this authoritarian fascism, and it's okay when it's our point of view, but your point of view, man, it's terrible. But anyway, but so Jones is animated. He has a lot of his spin and some conjecture thrown in. But if you look at the actual meat and potatoes, the facts are there. Okay, and so take what you need and leave the rest. But I've been getting a lot of real good factual information, and there's been really good doctors on there and very good guests on there that are very credible, that have been putting their lives on the line. And if Jones is legit and he's not a CIA operative like some people think, and he's not part of Project Mockingbird, then he's got his life on the line too. you know. And not everybody around him's protected. If he is, I don't even know. I know back in the day I kind of distanced myself because there was a bunch of Genesis Communications network there. There was a lot of crap going on over there. And I didn't want nothing to do with it. It was Jack Blood, and I don't know what was going on over there. But I used to listen to there was this kid from upstate New York, and I'm from upstate New York, Jason Bermas, and he was doing a show, The Info Warrior. I actually called in and got in there on their show one day. I've never called in any of them shows, but Genesis Communications Networks, GCN. There was somebody who was contacting me about getting on there. I didn't want to play by the rules. I've never played by the rules. I've never pitched products. I've never. It's all free information. I pay for to get this information out on my own dime. I don't have many dimes these days, so I do what I can. But you know, BitChute, I applaud the BitChute platform because they're giving me free speech over there. So I joined a membership over there. Not I don't have a lot of money. I didn't join a premium, top of the line membership, but I do the best I can. And even with Infowars, I got a survival book over there, a T-shirt, but something I wanted anyway. The survival book, it's very hard for me to read screens. I get migraine headaches and stuff. So, a hard copy of the book is pretty good. And I've got one already in my survival backpack, which I'll be talking a lot on the show here. And I got one on identifying editable plants, which I think is a very good something. But anyway, back to Jones. Take him for what you want. But I noticed Burmis isn't on there anymore. But they got they got this. Her name's Lee. I forget her first name, but she's actually a journalist, professional journalist, and she's doing some spots over there. Beautiful woman, redhead, and I really like her style. And I seen something that she was doing a short clip, kind of like what I was doing on Fearless Broadcasting News back in the day, where I would do a 10-minute, 5-10 minute, rundown of a story or something. But and she was talking about the topic of alternative treatment that I just put out an uncensored show on, and let me tell you, I got a little heated in that show. Got a little heated. You might want to check it out. I even said the S word a couple times. And that isn't even me. Like, I didn't even do that on the old show. I mean, these globalists got me heated. But anyway, let me get back to this Donald Trump stuff. Who else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I'll get into that. Well, Donald Trump, I thought he was a buffoon, a bumbling buffoon. And I never paid attention to any of the debates, and I gave up on them things a while ago. It's all horse and pony show. It's there's no left and right as far as I'm concerned. It's like professional wrestling. It's two sides of the same coin. It's like different rhetoric, and they're getting their paychecks from the same big money lobbyists and the Wall Street bankers, really. So I don't take much heed into it. I follow who's attending Bilderberg and who's in the Davos and the Council on Foreign Relations, who's getting funded by Bill and Melinda Gates and Carnegie Foundations and Rockefeller Foundations, and who the Rothschilds and all them are involved with, and the Club of Rome and these secret societies and Rhodes Scholars and these elite organizations and these elite schools like Harvard and Yale and Cornell, which is right in my neck of the woods here, but so that's where I know that them are their breeding grounds for their minions, and they get something on them that they can blackmail them, ruin their life, or they'll just execute you. Good old-fashioned execution, like they did to the Kennedys and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Gary Webb and Senator Schaefer and her husband, who were speaking out against the child trafficking rings in the social services foster care system. Especially, there was more than that now. Back over a decade ago, there was 300 children missing in Florida, and and we have these satanic cults that these elitists are involved in, you know, and it's true, but I'm not a QAnoner. And I never even heard about the QAnoners until after because I didn't pay attention to any of the debates. I figured Hillary Clinton was a Bilderberger. She comes from a long line of Bilderbergers. She's a hamburglar. Her husband's a hamburglar. She come in, invaded the Empire State where I live, and took over and stole a bunch of hamburglers. She's just a bumbling burglar, a thief, but criminal. So I figured she was the anointed one. Nothing to see there. And then when I got up, or the next day, I don't even know if I got up. I'm an insomniac, but the next day, I was like, Trump won? The bumbling bad. What? How the heck did that happen? And I had no idea. I thought maybe some hackers shut down the rigged elections like they always do. Maybe some hackers did it. Maybe they, because Diebold used to, they probably changed their name, probably same company, but they used to be like Republicans over there or whatever. But there is no difference between them. But I didn't know. I was just like, damn, maybe he is a globalist, man. He's a rich sucker, and he does hang around with, some globalists there. And did I say what I thought I said? Well, maybe this will be banned. Well, anyway, if I did, I did. We'll see if it gets through. But anyway, if it not, it'll be up at BitChute. um, well, anyway, so I didn't really paying much attention to Trump. Can't stand him. Can't stand listening to him. Can't stand looking at him with his crazy hairdo. And like I said, really wasn't paying much attention to the news. I need all I need to know. Like, so I slept through this pandemic thing. I had a friend of mine call me and said, "You need to get to the store or something," because he knew I didn't have a car at the time, and I didn't have, and I'm disabled and stuff. So I was like, I was sleeping, like middle of the day. I'm like, nah, I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. And I like browse around. I'm a two thumb Facebook guy. Like that's all I have talents for. Is like I check my notification. Well, I don't get that many, but do a two thumb scroll, maybe a like on a friend's thing. That's it. I did a scroll, and it was like, what's this? And I did a double two thumber. Then I did a reverse, another double. Wonder what's going on. So, like, dare I turn on the TV? Because if I watch something, it's usually, something that's not full of commercials and news. But so turn it on, and I'm like, what? What? Are you kidding me? And I'm seeing all these bare shelves. Like, what? So I call my friend back. I go, dude, I got 2 rolls of toilet paper. I go, I think maybe I better go to the store. And I didn't have. It was near the end of the month. I didn't have much cash flow, and they had no toilet paper. I had 2 rolls to last me a month. But anyway, so during this, I I found David Wilcock. That's how I heard about QAnon. It was fascinating at first, but I I heard some of David Wilcock's stuff back in the day in my research stuff, and I seen him on Ancient Aliens because some of my research on my own got more esoteric and it got more into um, alien cover-ups and military experimental military technology. And I'm going to do some shows on that, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. But I found Wilcock, and he was talking about Q. And he was talking about all this rhyme and code, like, ooh, you can't really talk openly, and he wasn't naming names, but I knew what he was talking about and who he was talking about. And, he's talked about the New World Order and stuff before, but I thought he was kind of a fruitcake back in the day, and people still do. And he is. He got really caught up in this Q thing. It was fascinating, but nothing ever came about of that. And John Durham is not going to show up. I'm sorry for you Trump supporters. It's like a false prophet. Oh, I'm telling you, this weekend, it's going to happen this weekend. They're going to have all them indictments and them secret indictments, and they're going to go around arresting people, and the military's behind it and everything. Well, there's a lot of weak military and all, but I don't think Trump's as weak as you think he is. For first of all, and I understand he did a lot better for the country than Biden's doing or Obama did. I mean, whether you like the guy or not, he was on track up until the COVID stuff, and he was probably a shoe on for a normal election, whatever that is. They've all been rigged. Pretty sure this one was a coup. It was rigged, taken over. I don't even think I can talk about that. But anyway, I, I don't know. I don't know. Pretty sure is not reporting that it's true. I'm just saying some people are saying that. There's this guy who's getting from My Pillow. I don't know if you know who that guy is, but yeah, they've kind of ran him out of town. My God, this censorship I'm so not used to it. But so anyway, I don't think John Durham's showing up to save the world, and Superman's not going to come save the world, and it's up to us as Americans to fight for our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, to stick up for our oaths to protect the republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. And a lot of our domestic enemies are foreign too. They're internationalists. They're globalists. Their allegiance is not to our country. They're traitors. They're treasonous criminals. They're out to kill us. They're believers in the Georgia Guidestones. We gotta stand up to them. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, if you're a new listener, I don't know. I don't even have my regular microphone on. I'm winging everything. I haven't had any sleep. I was up all night with a migraine, sitting in the dark. You can go listen to my other show. I explain a little more there over at harrythomas.info, harrythomasshow.com. Get involved, read the blogs, give some input, get your own show going, warn everybody. Screw your social media. Just start flooding it with the truth. Combat the mainstream. Get on the comment sections telling them the article is not the truth. Tell them that they're lying to you. I don't even know if I can say it. All these ABC 1, 2, 3 people. ABC 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, Bob Dylan had it right. We live in a political world under the microscope. Yep. You can hang yourself there. You always got more than enough rope. We live in a political world. Everything's a hers and his. Yeah. And there's a girl on my block. She just sits there in a cold chill. And she says, who's gonna take away his license to kill? Well, the only ones that's gonna take away their license to kill is us. Because our forefathers gave us that right to stand up against tyrannical people. And they gave us the right to speak out against tyrannical people. They're called the First, Second Amendment. And they gave us a right, all kinds of rights. So it's time for us to start using them because they shed their blood just like our fellow Americans in World War II, Korean War, Vietnam Wars, all the conflicts, the Gulf Wars, all the World War I, all of them. All of them. Civil War, all of our wars. Revolutionary War, the one that started it all. Brave men and women putting their lives on the line for the politics of greedy criminals, for the most part. But they're good people. Their hearts are pure. They're doing it for all the right reasons. They're doing it because it's their patriotic duty to protect the people of this land. And that's their motives. Screw the corrupt generals and politicians and corporate masters that are behind it. They're doing what they were doing for the right reasons. And I commend you all, my family, veterans in my family. And I love them. And I love you all. It's time. It's time to exercise our rights. It's time to protect our children and our people. The time is now. Time is to shut off that Discovery Plus and Everything Plus and all the sports games are corrupt anyway. It's all big money, and you know it deep down. That's why everyone's turning to fantasy football, because it's all fantasy anyway. But we have to. We have to. That's why I came back to this. Try to get to more people than one-on-one. I'm on my deathbed. I'm a terminally ill person. I don't care what they do to me. Care anymore. I got kids and grandkids on this planet. I'm at my end days anyway, man. I would rather die standing fighting the New World Order than submit on my knees to these evil, evil psychopaths. We got to stand together because united we stand, divided they fall. And they're going to divide and conquer. And that's why they got us at each other's throat. Left, right, white, black, rich, poor, gender against this gender and that gender. Why not add a couple more genders? Let's just fight all. Oh my God, there's Asian hate. Oh my God, what about there's hate against the green people now? Well, there will be once they introduce us to them. Or maybe it's them all along. There's been a fake invasion on the table. I've already kind of hit you off to 3 things that I hinted around that I might be talking about soon. Ancient aliens, disclosure, fake alien invasion that the New World Order has on the table. Things I avoided on the show before because I didn't think there was enough proof to talk about them things, but now I think there is. I think I'm educated enough and seen enough to confidently talk about some of that stuff. But I think it's a psyop for the most part. I believe that we're not the only ones here, and I believe that, yeah, there's a part in it, but I don't think they're going to come out and tell you the truth. I don't think it's going to be no full disclosure. I think they're going to use the technology that they've built themselves that was given to them against us. God help us all. The old website, or the old YouTube channel is still up. Harry Thomas Info, all one word, Harry Thomas Info. I got locked out of it. I didn't know you had to have a Google account anymore to keep it. But old videos are still up. Old shows are still up. The first show from January 23rd, 2005 with my old co-host Tarlee is up. So you could see our amateur garage talk show in its infancy. And it's funny for me to listen to. But anyway, harrythomas.info, harrythomasshow.com. All the shows will be up over there. I will be back here to let you know when the uncensored shows are coming out on BitChute.com. support everybody you can. Get the word out. Let your friends know. Flood social media. Let's stand up to this tyranny that is going on. Take our rights back. Them are our God-given rights, okay? We're all created equal. We don't need fascists and authority. I fought authority, and authority is not going to win because together we will make a difference. Thanks for listening.